Right, I'm having a day here. I've tried recording this about 20 times. Someone doesn't want me to do it. So spooky! Hello, welcome to the Bearded Horror Review. My name is Dan, aka The Boogeyman, and on this show I will watch a horror movie, either a classic or a new release, talk about some good points, talk about some bad points, if there are any of either, give it a rating out of 10 if I remember to do it, and let you know if I think it's worth a watch or not, in my humble opinion. And yesterday I went to see Chris Stuckman, the YouTuber and reviewer's debut film, Shelby Oaks. So let's talk about it. Shelby Oaks is about a woman whose sister went missing some years ago. Her sister was a YouTuber and went missing after going away to film some paranormal TV YouTube series thing in a town called Shelby Oaks, which is a dead town. Years later, she comes across a tape which has her sister on it, and it shows the night that she went missing. So she revives her investigation to try and find her sister, and it leads her down a spooky shenanigan path. Lots of spooky shenanigans. If you don't know who Chris Stuckman is, like I said, he is a YouTuber. He reviews movies online. He has done this for many a year now. He is quite big in the YouTube film review world. And I've watched him for many a year, and I remember watching him when he announced that this film had been greenlit, because he'd always wanted to be a writer and a director. So, you know, I was really chuffed for him. So I've been waiting for this film to come out for a while. And with that said, before we carry on, I am going to say spoilers. This is going to be a spoiler review. It's been out in America for a little while. I know it's only just come out here in the UK, but this keeps happening at the minute, and it's going to cause piracy in America, so, you know, you do you. But here's your spoiler warning. If you don't want to know anything about it, or go away, watch the film, then come back, watch the review, or watch the review and decide if you want to watch it for yourself or not. And leave a like, because that would be nice of you. So, if you saw the thumbnail, you've probably guessed how I feel about this film. It did the one thing that I say, just don't do this one thing. A film should not be boring. And this was boring. One of the major issues with this was its extremely slow-paced and dragged out editing. It felt like it was being stretched over a 1.5 hour runtime. So this film's only 1.5 hours long. And I remember looking at my watch at one point and going, Jesus, there's 40 minutes left. Before we carry on, guys, if you can leave a like and subscribe, it's a little thing for you, but it really helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's how slow this felt. Unfortunately, that creates other issues. So when you get bored, you get restless. And then when you get restless, you want something to happen. And this film, for all of its love and money and respect that I have for Chris, is badly written. Now, there are some good aspects of this film. I will say this right now. Some of the sound design and music was great. There are some genuine scenes in this where I was like tense and on the edge of my seat. But the problem is those tense scenes are immediately undercut by boring, tension-destroying cutaways to scenes of nothingness and boringness. It felt like Chris obviously had a low budget for this film, and that he used every single frame of film that he had, by the feel of it, to be able to fill out this runtime. Because there's so many prolonged shots of someone staring, or the woods, or looking down a corridor or out a window. It really does ruin the moment. There is a difference between tension building and being frustrating. And this film was so frustrating. I was just like, get on with it. And now I didn't go see this alone, and they felt the same. And that's the frustrating part of it. It wasn't just me. I know I've got ADHD and autism, so I know I can overreact sometimes. And I know that I notice things that other people don't. So I clarify them with other people sometimes. Especially before I do my review, I will have a discussion with someone who I know has seen it. And they felt the same way. They also felt that information was repeated 2 or 3 times. It kind of, as much as Chris Stuckman has, you know, mentioned this before, it talks to the audience like they're a bit dumb.
You live alone out here? Nope.
Like, it mentions characters 2 or 3 times in certain situations, and it's like, yeah, we can put 2 and 2 together, but he has to cap off information and round it out. It's like, oh, remember, so it's this thing, is it? It's like, yeah, we got it. We got it, Chris. There are some logical fallacies in this that I get really frustrated with. And so when I said about spoilers, here's some of the spoilers. The 3 people that are with this girl who goes missing, her name is Riley, they turn up in a cabin, dead, mutilated, and there are strange symbols painted over the cabin in blood. And this is all told to you in the first 15 minutes or so, as the first 15 minutes is a documentary with newsreels and stuff. Then they say that no one could figure out what this symbol is. Well, our main character, just on a whim, Googles and finds the symbol and its meaning. She also finds a book in her sister's room on top of a pile with the same symbol on. Are you telling me the police in something like 10, 12 years or something that she's been missing? I don't know, I can't remember. It's here. It says it there. You're telling me that at no point they Googled what this symbol could be? Really? They didn't go to the girl's house and go through her things to figure out her history and who might have wanted to kidnap her or where she might have gone and found that book? Also, it does the thing of opening the book and just being on the exact right page where she needs to be to find out the information. Because, again, spoilers, it turns out that the sister Riley was having night terrors ever since she was a small child. And these night terrors consisted of something looking into her window. And it turns out that this entity, it has been watching the sister for a very long time, and it's what this whole thing's revolving around. It's some kind of demonic, weird, cultish thing. We're not quite sure. And the problem is like I said, it's boring. It gets boring, it gets stale, it gets tedious. We get given this information 2 or 3 times, and when it finally does happen, it's over in a flash.
Welcome back to the Paranormal Paranoids. Today we're taking our first foray into the abandoned town of Shelby Oaks.
And it felt, again, really just ridiculous. Of like, that's not how humans are. And I understand that there is possession and influence going on throughout this story. Problem is also there is not really a hint of that until the last few minutes. And all it looks like is a very big lack of judgment. And also the ending of this film is absolutely ridiculous. And just, I know it was redone, so the people who saw it at like festivals and people who've seen it in the cinema are getting a different ending. If this is the better ending, I really want to know how bad that original ending was, because this gets slapstick ridiculous. It's supposed to be scary, it's not at all. What we find out is that this girl who's been having these night terrors, they started at the same time as this man who grew up in Shelby Oaks, was born or around or something, and he seemingly brings rot with him, and everywhere he goes seems to be things go bad. People are awful, buildings and things actually rot. He is put in a prison for 5 years and the prison rots around him. It turns out that this man had kidnapped Riley while she went to Shelby Oaks and had been using her, again spoiler, for breeding to birth a child. And this child is going to be given up in a blood baptism to this entity. Right, this is where I go, are you serious? Are you serious? Because a lot of this is revolved around going to these places, like going to the prison, finding this entity there, and there's just loads of staring. It's loads of this. And then a bang, and then nothing happening. And it repeats like that quite a lot, and then exposition, and then staring, exposition, staring, exposition, staring. I genuinely thought, though, the ending of the bit she's been kidnapped and used for breeding, I genuinely did think that was a good idea, but its execution then turns out to be really flat. Because maybe this is just me, but if I had found my sister after she'd been held captive for years, and I get her out, and her first instinct is to go upstairs to a sacrificial chamber with a fire poker to find a baby which is currently being blood baptized by a woman who has a literal demon standing behind her that you can see. She wants to take that fire poker and kill that baby, and once that that doesn't happen, and the woman baptizes this baby in blood, falls over, rubs her bloody hand over pictures of you, not the sister, you, and dies, my first instinct would not be, what a cute baby. It would be, I think this baby needs to die. Summit is fucked here. I get that she wanted a baby, and I get that there was probably some kind of manipulation going on, which wasn't really seeded throughout the entire film. It's just kind of put at the end. But I cannot sway my logic from that. And I cannot look at it and go, well, that's a fun twist, because it wasn't built up, it wasn't there. More happens after that gets more ridiculous that I'm not going to say, but that's one big, huge spoiler that I'm going to give. There were some good ideas in this. There really were. There were some real ideas of something that could be good. But unfortunately, the execution is boring. There was no kind of exciting set pieces put in. There was no genuine feeling of danger. There was no use of tension to really create stakes. It just felt kind of frustrating. To a point, this is something that really frustrated me. You've probably seen it in the trailers if you have seen them, but a man unalives himself right in front of our main character, and she gets blood on her face. The police are called, they take the body away, they investigate. The film shows that it's gone from daytime to nighttime. Her partner had time to get out of his normal clothes and into his PJs. She still stood there hours later with this man's blood on her. The partner doesn't even mention that she's still got it on her. Like I said, it's hours later. I get that shock and things happen, but it's hours later and he's had time to chill and go get his fucking PJs on. And you're telling me that he wouldn't have gone, maybe we should wash that blood off. Come on, let's wash the blood off. Let's go and try and get away from this. Wash the blood off, get past it. We'll call a doctor or something in the morning if you're struggling, and obviously you might need some psychological help. He doesn't say anything like that. That is not realistic. It repeats information over and over again, like I said, like 2 or 3 times. It's got massive moments of dead air or weird decisions, nothing happening, of no consequences or build up to nothing. It's just boring, and the ending I found was absolutely ridiculous. For me personally, unfortunately, it's like a 3.5 out of 10. I really wanted to like this, I really did, but it's well directed. I will give Chris that. There's some great shots in it, and the idea itself was good, but the execution overall wasn't great. It was a bit boring, mate. So that's my idea of it. 3.5 out of 10. What do you guys think of Shelby Oaks if you have seen it? Are you still interested in seeing it? Let me know down in the comments below. And do you like Chris Stuckman? Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me over my social media, Instagram and TikTok. All the links are down below, and I even have a Patreon if you want to help me keep the lights on. If you're enjoying my content, my reviews and reactions, it's $2 a month and you get exclusive content for it. And until the next time, guys, happy watching.